Total charge of electron by the mass of the electron. This is equal to E by M. That's what we have given. And from Thomson method, how to find the speed of electron is V is equal to capital E by B. So V is equal to strength of the electric field and B strength of the magnetic field. So this one. And one more formula for electron traveling from.
అది ఛార్జింగ్ అయిపోయింది వాయిస్ రాలేదు మీరు కానివ్వండి దీని మైక్తో
For electron traveling from cathode to anode, so the total kinetic energy of electron is work done is equal to the kinetic energy of electron. K is equal to W, and here we can write K is equal to formula half m v square is equal to charge of electron into potential difference. This formula was given. And one more, the specific charge of electron E by N is equal to formula v square by 2 into capital V, or by substituting this V value, we get one more formula E by M equal to V square by 2V into V square. So this formula actually we have given in the previous class, correct? And based on this, some questions may be asked in the competitive exams. For example, the specific charge, what is the ratio of try the question. Find the ratio of specific charge of specific charge of proton. Find the specific ratio of the specific charge of proton and an alpha particle So it is a question. So this type of questions are very asked generally in the competitive exams. So find the ratio of the specific charge of a proton and an alpha particle. So how to solve this problem? So we know specific charge is equal to formula charge by mass. So I am writing here specific charge of the proton. I am writing S suffix B, and a specific charge of alpha particle. I am writing S alpha. So here we can write specific charge is equal to charge of the proton by it is equal to mass of the proton. Yes, of the specific charge of proton, charge of the proton by mass of the proton. So divided by specific charge of alpha particle. So charge of the alpha particle by mass of the alpha particle. I am writing into mass of the alpha particle by charge of the alpha particle should write like this. So generally alpha particle means helium nucleus. So we can use the symbol He to 4. So atomic number 2 and mass number 4. So here charge of the alpha particle is equal to 2 times the charge of the proton. So here it is equal to 2 into E charge of the proton. And the mass of the alpha particle we can write 4 times the mass of the proton. So here I am writing that is equal to 4 into mass of the proton is should write. So here I am substituting the value. Charge of the proton is equal to E, which is equal to positive charge, correct? And divided by mass of the proton, same I am writing M suffix B, charge of the proton by mass of the proton into mass of the alpha particle 4 times mass of the proton. Here you should write 4 into mass of the proton divided by charge of the alpha particle is equal to 2 times the charge of the proton. Here I write 2E. So here mass of the proton M get cancelled, E also get cancelled, and here also 2 1s are 2 2s are, so which is equal to 2:1. So specific charge of the proton by specific charge of the alpha particle is equal to 2:1. So simple question, this type of will be asked. And I'll give one more question. So try this question also. I'll give one more question. The specific charge of a proton is X. Specific charge of a proton. Specific charge of a proton is X. Then what is the specific charge of a triton? So you should calculate the specific charge of a triton. Find the specific charge of. Find the specific charge of a triton. So here you have to solve this question. So in the given question, specific charge of the proton is x given. So let the specific charge of the proton is equal to x. Then what is the specific charge of the triton? So it is a question mark. So here triton is nothing but 1H3 we can write. It is an isotope of the hydrogen, 1 atomic number, and the mass number is equal to 3. So here you should write the specific charge of the triton proton by specific charge of the triton is equal to charge of the proton is equal to E divided by mass of the proton is equal to M, or I am writing M suffix B. Charge of the proton E and the mass of the proton M suffix E into it is equal to mass of the triton M suffix T I am writing divided by it is equal to charge is equal to E should write. So charge of the triton is equal to E, nothing but equal to proton. But charge of mass of the triton is equal to 3 times the mass of the proton. So should write it is equal to 3 times. Now if you substitute here E by M into it is equal to mass of the triton is equal to 3M divided by E should write. Here M get cancelled and E also cancelled. But in the given question, specific charge of the proton is x given, then you should write x by specific charge of the triton is equal to 3. That implies specific charge of the triton is equal to so x by 3. So you should write this one. So specific charge of the proton is equal x means specific charge of the triton is equal to x by 3. So it is a question. You can solve like this. And I'll give one more question. Based on this specific charge concept only, some questions will be asked, and theory questions also. So 3-4 particles will be given. So we have to arrange all the particles in the increasing order of the specific charges. For example, I'll give one question. So arrange the following particles. So arrange the following particles in the increasing order of arrange the following particles in the increasing order of or ascending order. Increasing order of the specific charges. Increasing order of their specific charges. So give one particle proton A. So first particle is a proton and the second particle of B neutron and the third particle C electron and the fourth particle I give alpha particle. So alpha particle. So here we have to arrange all the particles in the increasing order. So check here among all the particles. So check here neutron. So generally we know specific charge formula is equal to charge by mass. So check here neutron. What is the charge of the neutron? 0. So neutron has no charge means 0 by something is equal to 0. So least value is equal to neutron. So among all the particles, least particle should write a B. So first one is equal to B. You should write there. So least particle. And among all the particles, highest specific charge. So generally, particle having a least mass may have more specific charge for the given charge. So electron having a highest least mass 1.9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. So that's why you should write the last one should be electron. So first the least specific charge in neutron and the highest specific charge you should write electron. So it is equal last you should write. But if you compare the proton and alpha particle, so proton is equal to specific charge yesterday we mentioned. So specific charge of the proton is equal to nothing but 9.6 into 10 to the power of 7 coulomb per kg. Whereas specific charge of the alpha particle is equal to half of this value. That means divided by 2 you should write 4.8 into 10 to the power of 7 coulomb per kg. Correct? But if you compare proton and alpha particle, which will have less specific charge, alpha particle. So you should write alpha particle D should write here. So that is equal to D and the next one you should write proton A. So answer must be so B, D, A, C. So options they may give differently, and you have to identify the correct option. You have to choose the correct option. So that is one question. And one more I do. One question you. An electron is accelerated through. An electron is accelerated through the potential difference. Electron is accelerated through a potential difference. I am writing in short form PD. Potential difference. Potential difference of 1000 volt. So it is a unit of the potential difference volt. So electron is accelerated through a potential difference of 1000 volt. Then find the speed of the electron. Find the speed of the electron. Find the speed of the electron. So generally, you have to imagine electron is accelerated from rest. So beginning the velocity of electron equal to 0. It is accelerated through a potential difference of 1000 volt. Then what is the speed of the electron? So this question also based on like how electron is moving through a potential difference and the Thomson method you can use. So for this you should write given data potential difference. You can use the symbol V, which is equal to 1000 volt. It is the potential difference here. And we need to calculate the speed of the electron, small v. When electron is accelerated through the potential difference, that is a cathode to anode. So some work is done. The total work is in the form of kinetic energy of the electron. So we can write half mv square is equal to ev. And it is a formula. So now we want to calculate v square. Take m by 2 right side. V square is equal to 2 into ev by m is should write. If you remove this square, then V is equal to square root of, so 2V into E by M. So already we know specific charge of electron. So specific charge of electron is equal to how much? 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11 coulomb per kilograms. That's it already given. And now we have to substitute these values. So it is equal to 2 into here 1000 volt, capital V 1000 volt given. And 1000 I am writing 10 cube into it is equal to E by M is equal to 1.76 into 10 to the power of 11. So under root. So it is equal to 2 into 1.76. If you multiply, you get a 3.52 into 10 to the power of 11 plus 3, 14. Should write under root. So root 10 to the power of 14, 10 to the power 7. And root 3.52, so approximately 1.87 meter per second. So the speed of electron in that potential difference is equal to 1.87 into 10 to the power 7 meter per second. So it is a process to find the speed of electron by using a Thomson method. And one more question here, based on this Thomson methodology for competitive exams, try this question also. So question I am writing here. An electron is moving. The electron is moving in crossed electric and magnetic fields. Crossed electric and magnetic fields. Here the word crossed indicates perpendicular. Yesterday Thomson method we already mentioned. The electron is moving perpendicular electric and magnetic fields without any deflection. So crossed electric and magnetic fields of strength 2 into 10 to the power of 2 into 10 to the power 5 volt per meter and 0.1 Tesla. It is a unit of the magnetic field. 0.1 Tesla respectively is undeflected. So So means without deflection only electron is traveling through the crossed electric and magnetic field undeflected. Find the speed of the electron. Find the speed of electron. It is a question. So read the question and write. So here an electron is moving in a crossed electric and magnetic fields of strength 2 into 10 power 5 volt per meter. First, you should write, take this data. Strength of the electric field. So we can use the symbol as capital E. Writing the strength of the electric field. E is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of 5 volt per meter. It is the strength of the electric field. And strength of the magnetic field given 0.1 Tesla. Should write here. So strength of the magnetic field B is equal to 0.1 Tesla. So capital D. Now the question, find the speed of the electron. So you should calculate the speed. I am using the symbol small v question mark. So related to this data, check the formula. So speed of the electron V is equal to E by B. Strength of the electric field by strength of the magnetic field. So here in case of E, I am writing out 2 into 10 to the power of 5 divided by it is equal to 0.1. So 0.1 we can write 10 power minus 1 and take to numerator. It is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of 6 meter per second. It is the value of the speed of the electron in the cross electric and magnetic fields and without any deflection. So this kind of questions may be asked based on the J.J. Thomson method. It is about a specific charge and Thomson method. Now we will discuss one more concept, electron emission. So next concept we will discuss electron emission. Electron emission. So in this concept we have to discuss what is electron emission and what are the types of electron emission and on what factor they depends and what are their uses we have to discuss. So generally if you take for electron emission, so any substance may take like a metal, so it may contain many electrons. So I am choosing any one metal or metal surface I am choosing here. So metal may contain the large number of atoms. Any solid or liquid or whatever we take, any substance we take, it is made up of a number of atoms. So if you take one metal plate I am choosing here, it also contains a large number of atoms or so many atoms. And here I am choosing these are the number of atoms in a metal. And each and every atom contains the central part or core, which is called as nucleus. So these are taking the atoms. And if you take one particular atom outside, how the structure means the atom is having a spherical shape like this. So atom is having a spherical shape with the size 10 to the power of minus 10 meter. So which is 1 angstrom unit. So the size of the atom is 10 power minus 10 meter and the atom is having a spherical shape. So the central part of the atom or the core of the atom is called as nucleus. So it contains generally protons and neutrons. But a neutron is a chargeless and a proton is having a positive charge. So the charge of the nucleus is positive. And outside the nucleus there will be number of electrons which are revolving around the nucleus like this. So electrons are revolving around the nucleus in various orbits. But some of the electrons are closer to the nucleus. So the electrons which are very closer to the nucleus are strongly attracted by the nucleus. Because whenever distance is very less and the force of attraction will be more. So the electron which is in the innermost orbit is having a strong interaction with the nucleus. So this type of electrons are called bound electrons. So what are bound electrons means? Electrons in the innermost orbit of an atom is called bound electron. Why it is called bound electron? It is strongly attracted by the nucleus. Hence it is called as a bound electron. And some of electrons are in the outermost orbits of an atom. So it is one electron in the outermost orbit. But this distance is more from the nucleus. That's why. So these electrons are having a big interaction or less interaction, and they are called valence electrons. So electrons in the outermost orbit are called valence electrons, and electrons in the innermost orbit is called as a bound electron. These are the two type of electrons. At a room temperature, so the little bit amount of energy is gained by electron, and electron may come outside from the atom. And that electron can be called as a free electron. So here free electron means it is not attracted by the nucleus. So the electron can move throughout the metal randomly. For example, in this case, you take at a room temperature or at a low temperature, the valence electrons may leave the metal surface and they may come outside from the metal like this. And this type of electrons are called free electrons. At a room temperature or at ordinary temperatures, all the majority of the valence electrons may leave the atom, not the metal surface, may leave the atom and can move randomly throughout the metal like this. The electron may move randomly throughout the metal surface like this. But no electron would leave the metal surface. So check once again, whenever we consider a metal, it may contain the large number of the free electrons, and all the free electrons are moved randomly throughout the metal surface. But no electron would leave the metal surface. Why no electron leave the metal surface generally? When one electron try to leave the metal surface like this, whenever it try to come outside from the metal surface, immediately one positive ion will be created here, and that positive charge will pull the electron backwards. But nothing is pulling the electron forward. That's why electron cannot leave the metal surface by its own. And here the surface of the metal will behave like a barrier, like a wall, and that barrier can be called as surface barrier. Surface barrier. So barrier is nothing but like a wall only, correct? So we can say generally simply, metal contains a large number of the free electrons, but all the free electrons are moved randomly throughout the metal at a room temperature or at ordinary temperature. But no electron could leave the metal surface by its own. When any electron try to leave the metal surface, one positive ion or positive charge will pull the electron backwards. But nothing is pulling the electron forward. That's why the electron by its own can never leave the metal surface. And the barrier which opposes the electrons leaving the metal surface is called as surface barrier. If electron try to come outside, or whenever we are making electron to release it from the metal surface, some external energy must be required. And this energy may be in the form of light or heat, or maybe electrical form or kinetic energy we have to take. So generally, the process of liberation of electrons from a metal surface can be called as electron emission. So it is generally you can write. So note down that electron emission means, what is an electron emission means? The phenomenon of emission of electrons. The phenomenon of emission of electrons from a metal surface. The phenomenon of emission of electrons from a metal surface is known as electron emission. The phenomenon of emission of electrons from a metal surface is known as electron emission. For electron emission, which substances are generally preferable? Like metals or liquids or what type of metals are preferable generally? Metals. So for electron emission, metals are preferable. For electron emission, metals are preferable. Why they are preferable generally? They contain large number of free electrons. So metals are preferable for electron emission since they contain large number of electrons, large number of free electrons. They contain large number of free electrons. That's why generally we are preferring metals for electron emission. And here we are saying one more. All the electrons or all the metals may not require same amount of energy for their emission. So different metals may require different amount of energy. So the minimum amount of energy required to remove the electron from the metal surface can be called as work function of the metal. So if you want to make the electron to come outside from the metal surface, the minimum amount of energy required. So that energy can be called as work function of the metal. So what is the work function of the metal means nothing but energy only. The minimum amount of energy required. The minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron from a metal surface. The minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron from a metal surface is called work function. Generally, we can denote this work function with the symbol as either pi or pi naught. You can write like this or W naught. So work function of the metal can be denoted with the symbol pi naught or W naught. So like this. And the SI unit of work function, it is nothing but energy only. That's why we can say SI unit of work function is a joule. SI unit of work function can write as joule. But generally in atomic physics and nuclear physics, joule is a bigger unit. That's why we can take the practical unit as electron volt. So electron volt also the unit of work function. So it is taken as a practical unit generally for work function is a electron volt. But what is electron volt or what is the value of electron volt means I'll give here. I am choosing any one electrical field like this. Something potential difference I am choosing here. It is something electrical field. And I am maintaining a potential difference of 1 volt. Here the total potential difference is equal, for example, 1 volt. One electron enters into the electrical field like this. In this potential difference like this. While the electron is moving through this potential difference of 1 volt, the electron may gain or lost something kinetic energy. So that energy can be called as 1 electron volt. So the kinetic energy gained by an electron while passing through or while accelerating through a potential difference of 1 volt is called as electron volt. So we can give the definition of this one also. So note down this one. The kinetic energy gained by an electron, kinetic energy gained by an electron while accelerating through a potential difference of 1 volt. While accelerating through a potential difference of 1 volt is called or is equal to 1 electron volt. The kinetic energy gained by the electron while accelerating through a potential difference of 1 volt is equal to 1 electron volt. We can write here 1 electron volt is equal to charge of electron into potential difference. Already here 1 electron volt symbol I am writing 1 eV is equal to charge of electron is equal to nothing but 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb charge of electron into potential difference already we mentioned 1 volt. Should write into 1 volt we should write. Therefore 1 electron volt is equal to 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Here coulomb into volt is equal to nothing but 1 joule. So correct it is equal to joule we should write. So the value of 1 electron volt is equal to 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joule. Or if we take the value left side, 1 joule is equal to how many electron volts? Take this value left side. If you want to convert the joule into electron volt, you should take like this. 1 by 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 electron volt. So if you want to convert electron volt to joule, you should take like this. 1 joule is equal to 1 by 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 electron volt, or 1 electron volt is equal to 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 joule. So sometimes what is the value of 1 kilo electron volt? So generally 1 kilo indicates 1000. So you should write. So in place of the K, I am writing 10 cube 1000 electron volt. So check here, 1 kilo electron volt is equal to 1000 electron volt or 10 cube electron volt, or 1 mega electron volt, MEV, million, or mega electron volt is equal to, in place of the million or mega, you should write 10 to the power of 6. That is 10 to the power 6 electron volt you should write. So 1 kilo electron volt is equal to 10 to the power 3 electron volt. 1 mega electron volt is equal to 10 to the power 6 electron volt you should write. If 1 milli electron volt given, 10 to the power minus 3 you should write. So that is the work function of the metal, and what is the SI unit, and what is the practical unit, and what is the definition of the electron volt. But what factors work function depends means nature of the metal. All the metals may not require same amount of energy. Different metals may require different amount of energy. So you write work function depends upon nature of the metal. Come in here. Work function of phi naught depends upon one is the nature of the metal. Work function depends upon nature of the metal. Like it is silver or copper or gold or cesium or platinum, depends upon the nature of the metal. And the second one, surface conditions of the metal. How the surface of the metal will be. Surface conditions of the metal. Surface conditions of the metal. These are the factors on which the work function of the metal depends. For example, if you take a cesium, I am choosing a cesium metal. For cesium, the value of the work function phi naught is equal to 2.14 electron volt. So almost the least value. So that means among all the metals, which metal is preferable for electron emission means we can take a cesium, because it requires a less amount of energy for emission of electrons. So cesium is the best metal among all the metals. It has a work function of only 2.14 electron volt. When we are able to supply 2.14 or more than 2.14 electron volt, easily the electron from the cesium metal will come outside from the surface of the metal. And if take for example aluminium, so for aluminium the value of the work function phi naught is equal to 4.28 electron volt. So comparing to cesium, it has a more work function. Means more energy has to be supplied to remove the electron from the aluminium. And then take one more, platinum. So for platinum, the value of the work function 5.65 electron volt. If you compare these three metals, which is the best metal for electron emission? Then cesium. So when we want to remove electron from the platinum metal, how much amount of energy we have to supply? 5.65 electron volt energy has to be supplied. So same electron if you want to remove from the cesium, only 2.14 is enough. That's why cesium is the best metal for electron emission, and the platinum max energy has to be supplied. So different metals require different amount of energies. So that is the electron emission. Once again, the process of emission of electrons from the surface of a metal is called electron emission. And metals are generally preferable for electron emission. Why they are preferable means generally they contain a large number of the free electrons comparing to other substances, and the minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron from the surface of the metal is called as work function of the metal. We can denote the work function with the symbol as phi naught or W. So generally SI unit of the work function is joule. But in atomic physics or nuclear physics, joule is the bigger unit. So that's why we have to use only electron volt, practical unit. So electron volt also the unit of work function of the metal. Now here, what is the electron volt means? When an electron is accelerating through a potential difference of 1 volt, the energy gained or lost by the electron is called as electron volt. is accelerating through a potential difference of 1 volt, the kinetic energy gained by the electron is equal to 1 electron volt.
1 electron volt is equal to charge of electron into potential difference. 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb into 1 volt equal to 1.602 into 10 power minus 19 joule. And the work function depends upon nature of the metal and also surface conditions of the metal. And different metals different work functions. And among all the metals, cesium is the best metal for electron emission because it has least work function, 2.14 electron volt. And what are the types? And one more important, if you want to make electron to come outside from the metal, some external energy has to be supplied. So we need to supply some energy from outside. But what type of energy we have to supply means it may be in the form of heat. The energy supplied to the metal may be in the form of heat for emission of electrons, or maybe in the form of electric energy also. It can be applied, or light energy can also be applied to the metal, and also kinetic energy. So for electron emission, some external energy must be needed. Generally, what type of energy means we can supply in the form of heat, electric energy, or light energy, or maybe in the form of kinetic energy. And based on the energy supplied, so we have 4 types of electron emissions. So we can hear what are the types of electron emission. So put it as the types of electron emission. Electron emission. Depending upon the energy supplied to the metal, we are giving to the metal based on the energy supplied to the metal. There are 4 types of electron emission. One is the emission, fermionic emission, and the field emission. So here we are supplying the electric field or electric energy, that is called as field emission. And the third one, photo emission. Photo emission. Light energy to the metal surface. And the fourth one, emission. Secondary emission. So these are the 4 types of emission. Any 2 types of electron emission. So for 2 marks question, then ask. Generally, mention any 2 types of electron emission. We can write generally fermionic emission, or so different. All the methods are nothing but electron emission purpose only. But in the case, what kind of energy we are going to supply? Electron emission, we need to supply heat energy, and so that electrons are emitted from the surface of the metal. In a field emission, a strong electrical field can be applied. Here we are supplying electric energy. In the case of the photo emission, light energy. And here we will supply generally kinetic energy. These are the 4 methods. So in the 4 methods, first method we will discuss. What is the fermionic emission? What is meant by fermionic emission? And on fermionic emission depends. In the word generally, thermo or fermi indicates heat. Here I am choosing any one metal plate here, which contains a large number of free electrons. Any metal may choose it contains a large number of the free electrons, but by no electron would leave the metal surface. So it contains a large number of the free electrons lying in the metal. Why no electron leave the metal surface means because of the work function. Every electron requires some energy to come outside from the surface of the metal. Now I am supplying some amount of heat outside like this. Whenever some energy is supplied to the metal, then what will be happen? The electron will gain the heat energy and it may overcome the work function. Once it may overcome the surface barrier or work function, the electron may be liberated from the surface of the metal. So that can be called as thermionic emission. So the process of emission of electrons from the metal surface when heat energy is applied. Whenever heat energy is applied to the metal, the electron would gain the heat energy or absorb the heat energy. It will overcome the work function of surface barrier and electron will emit from the metal surface. So this phenomenon called as thermionic emission. So how do I liberation of electrons or emission of electrons, process of emission of electrons from emission of electrons from metal surface, process of emission of electrons from the metal surface, and heat energy supplied. Process of emission of electrons from the metal surface, then heat energy, sufficient heat energy supplied is called thermionic emission. There is thermionic emission on what factors depends means nature of the metal. All the metals may not require same amount of heat energy. So different metals may require different heat energy. So we can write nature of the metal. Thermionic emission depends upon metal. Like it is silver, copper, gold, iron depends upon the nature of the metal. One factor. Second, heat is supplied. That is the temperature of the metal. So thermionic emission depends upon the nature of the metal and also second one temperature of the metal. So more the temperature supplied, the electrons may gain more amount of energy and the more electrons may be liberated. So here the electrons which are emitted from metal are thermoelectrons or thermions. Electrons emitted from the surface of the metal because of heating is called thermions, or also called thermoelectrons. Electrons emitted from the surface of the metal are called thermions or thermoelectrons. For example, when we are providing a conducting a path, if you connect to the battery and conducting a wire, current also passing due to thermions. So that is called thermoelectric current. So the current due to thermions can be called as the thermoelectric current. Or simply thermoelectric current or simply electric current. So here the current flowing through the conductor area current the current flowing through the conductor per unit area can be called as the current density, which is equal to electrical current by area of the conductor issued by here. Density is equal to area issued by here and electric current by area issued by. So current density we can use a symbol as J. So J is equal to electric current is equal to symbol I am writing I divided by area is equal to A issued by. So that is the current required per unit area is equal to current density. So current density and also temperature one relation given by relation. So we can write J is equal to already we mentioned here current density. So J is equal to AT square capital A to capital T square into e to the power of minus 3 is right. Where J already we mentioned here current density and A is equal to emission constant. And B is equal to small b emitter constant and one is emitter constant. So that is called emitter constant. And capital T is equal to absolute temperature. Absolute temperature. So this relation generally called as Richardson-Dashman relation. How the current is flowing through the conductor per unit area. So we can give relation. J is equal to the power of minus b by t. So J current density, A emission constant, and B emission constant, and R is temperature. Temperature and more the number of and more current density also. Where we can use this thermodynamic emission means generally in a TV sets instead of nowadays old TV sets are there, like a dome type. Here inside the picture the cathode ray tubes. So inside the tube we are using this method. So thermodynamic emission can be used in a TV sets. And also we are using a vacuum tubes. In a vacuum tube. So if you want to generate electrons from the cathode, we can heat the metal. In that heated metal, electrons are emitted in the vacuum tube. That also we can use. So TV sets and also vacuum tubes or electron microscopes, we are using the thermodynamic emission. That's also generally. And check your video. That will be a small PPT. And take the first page actually we already given. It is a PUC2 physics and a chapter name real nature of radiation and matter. And check next page syllabus given. Already yesterday we mentioned the syllabus. Next. And check here what is atomic physics given. So yesterday we discussed what is atomic physics also. The branch of physics that deals with the properties and interaction of the atomic and the subatomic particles is called atomic physics or modern physics. Now today we have given what is the electron emission. So check that electron emission. The process of emission of electrons from a metal surface is called electron emission. And as the metals contain a large number of free electrons, generally they are chosen for electron emission. So we already discussed different metals may have. Why metals only preferable means they contain a large number of the free electrons. And one more question we have given, state and explain types of electron emission. Depending upon the supply of energy, there are 4 methods of electron emission. We mentioned here, first one, thermodynamic emission, second, photoelectric emission, third, field emission, and emission. In that, check the first method we have given here, that is thermodynamic emission. So check the definition. The emission of electrons from a metal surface under the influence of thermal energy. So thermal energy is nothing but heat energy. Is called as thermodynamic emission. So that's the definition of the thermodynamic emission. And what the faculty depends means. Depends on nature of the metal. So two parameters we mentioned here. First one depends upon the nature of the metal and temperature of the metal surface. More the temperature we supply, the more the number of electrons will be emitted. And the nature of the metal means different metals may require different amount of heat energies. And one more point, where we have used this method, it is used vacuum tubes and also electron microscope and also TV sets. In a world in TV sets also we can use this method. And number of electrons emitted per second per unit area of the surface is called emission current density. So generally what is the current density means J here we mentioned, and according to Richardson-Deshman relation, J is equal to AT square into e to the power of minus d by t, where A is equal to emission constant, that is experimental constant, and B is equal to emitter constant, and T temperature of the emitter or absolute temperature of the metal should write. Next. So that is first method completed. In next class we discuss remaining the 3 methods. What is the photoelectric emission, what is the field emission, and what is the secondary emission. If you have the textbooks, read these concepts. So J.J. Thomson method, specific charge concept, and also try some exams. And also read what is electron emission, what is electron volt, what is the work function, and what is the thermal emission, all these concepts. And tomorrow we discuss remaining 3 methods.